Issue, right? Women in the mosques. What exactly is the issue here? I just don't get it. I mean, women, they need to pray. This is a mosque, a house of worship. Maybe the women should be in the mosque. And when they do allow the women in the mosque, they talk about it like it's some special mosque feature, you know? Mashallah, we have intizam for ladies. We have a dungeon. It is a very nice dungeon. And mashallah, we have an excellent sound system, but it's not working. And we have a wonderful cooling system during the hot summer months. We have 2 fans. When it is 116 degrees outside, it's only 99 downstairs.
I want to quote you something from Martin Luther King. This is very interesting. And he said that in order for people to condemn injustice, they have to follow 4 stages. Ascertain and point out that there is injustice going on. Secondly, once you realize that there is something going wrong, that there is oppression, go and negotiate with those who are oppressing you. What is the 3rd stage?
Muslims always seem to be talking about the injustices done to them by the outside world. But I rarely hear Muslims talking about the unfairness that exists within our own communities. I pray in a room where there is a one-way mirror so the men cannot see me. I'm told we are a distraction. I look out and I see them, but they just see a mirror. The presence of women in my mosque has been erased.
You know, when we hear khutbahs about how wonderful Islam is, all the rights it's given women, but when it comes to practicing it, we don't see it. At least I don't. It's a lot of talk. It's really wonderful talk, but it's all theory.
It wasn't theory when I was growing up. As a child, I loved going to the mosque. I was never treated differently just because I was a girl. The mosque I went to in Toronto was an old converted church. I remember spending all my holidays organizing Islamic activities. Being a Muslim was fun. I married Sami, a Muslim who, like me, enjoyed working in the community. We were married in a mosque because that's where we both felt at home. We settled in Regina, Saskatchewan. We had Mesa, Inaya, Rashad, and Zayn, 4 prairie hardy children. We take them to the mosque where they're not only learning about Islam, but also the changing attitude towards women.
In the 27 or so years since I became a Muslim, we have gone through periodic phases where a group of people will come in and convince others that there should be absolute separation of men and women, or worse yet, that women should be forbidden to go to the masjid. And they think they have evidence of sunnah for that, which really isn't. And we have to fight it every time. And each time it has to be fought, because if we don't fight it, then it might actually become permanent.
The women had prayed for years behind the men without any problems. One day I came to the mosque and there was a curtain hanging in the main prayer hall. The women were supposed to pray behind it. I joined a group of women who were praying in front of it in protest. Eventually, the men didn't have enough space, and a separate room for the women was created. The world I knew was gone. The mosque was the most important part of my life, and now I didn't feel welcome there anymore. I felt a strong sense of spiritual loneliness. I've begun fantasizing about starting my own mosque. Is it even possible to change things back to the way they were before? Why did my community change so radically over a few years? I decided to travel across the country to get some answers. My first stop was to visit my brother Dutch in Toronto. In our mosque in Regina for 15 years, everything was fine. The women prayed behind the men. And then, as things started to become more conservative, we had an imam from India come, and I did a speech on 9/11 in front of, at a university, and he gave a khutbah saying Muslim women cannot speak to men unless they're behind a curtain. That's 100% haram, a speech, right? So he's telling the entire congregation this. I feel like this isn't as clear cut as other issues are, and that being a man has a lot to do with how you feel about this issue and how you interpret things.
I suggest you be very, very careful.
Why? Why are you worried about this?
Because you're going to make a lot of enemies.
Why?
You know how it is.
Why would it upset Muslims for me to show that Muslims are not really acting like proper Muslims? Because
any negative media we get, how much of a problem it is, especially if it comes from a Muslim. That's even worse.
No, but I think it's better because a Muslim would actually show that this is not Islamic, whereas a non-Muslim doing it would say, look how Muslim men oppress Muslim women.
Yeah, but the way they look at it is, well, non-Muslim people will be seeing this too. You're giving us a bad name, not that we already don't have one.
I went with my mom to her favorite mosque in Mississauga. She comes here almost every day to pray. She grew up in Pakistan where women never went to the mosque.
No, it's not cute for neglect forever.
But they're okay there with someone.
No, you think it's okay. But inside kya feel karte hain, where's our mother?
My mom and I have never seen eye to eye about barriers. She's never understood why they've upset me so much. You know how much I hate barriers and curtains. But I don't know, I love this masjid. Yeah, I like this barrier because it's short, it's see-through. What do you think? Do you like it?
Yeah, I like this. I don't like to put curtain.
You don't like the curtain?
I like this one.
What about in Pakistan? When you were growing up, did you go into the mosque?
Never.
Why? Why?
Because I don't know, there's no single woman goes to, because there's so many men and masjids are not big enough and they don't have even proper place.
No, but they felt that women didn't belong in the mosque, right? Right?
No, actually I didn't hear that either, but I don't know, women don't like either.
Why don't they like to go? Because you know why they don't want to go? Because they're not welcome. Men don't want them there, so they make it difficult for them to go. Can't you admit when you came to this country where they welcomed you into the masjids and didn't have these cultural hang-ups, this is where you learned Islam? Is this the country that you learned Islam?
Yeah, we gain more because we are coming to the mosque. Where will you learn if you won't come to the mosque?
And the masjids without the barriers are better for women.
If some women feel comfortable, let them stay behind the barrier, and I don't mind.
You don't mind the barrier?
No. If it happens that people who are putting the barrier, I don't want to fight with them.
But you would rather go to a mosque without a barrier?
Yeah.